Hello everyone and welcome to this video. I am Pierre Bonnet from the community Engage Meta and I want to present to you in this video how I created an AI assistant in GPT connected to my last book named Meta Entrepreneur. So I will show you a little bit the content of the book Meta Entrepreneur, and after I will show you how I created AI assistant Meta Entrepreneur in ChatGPT and how it works. It's a good example of how to create AI assistant with ChatGPT. So I hope it will give you some idea to create your own assistant. So let's have a look at my book, Meta Entrepreneur. So I am an entrepreneur with a long journey in this domain, in particular in the software industry and beverage industry. And I wrote this book to share my knowledge. So the content is based on the first chapter for which I explain my story, who am I, and then I describe the entrepreneurship domain in four key elements. The first is the motion, where I describe the journey to entrepreneurship, the growth and type of business, the money management, the intrinsic risk in the entrepreneurship domain, and the obligation when we are an entrepreneur with something a little bit stronger than usual motivation to reach success. Then the second element is engagement with the way to create a good idea on what is a good idea in the business. Then a second source of revenue. This is a multi-cash flows strategy to secure the finance, in particular when the company bootstrap. Then the outcompete the competition, positioning on the market, the co-founders management and way of working, how to have a long journey with the same co-founder to be sure that the group of co-founder is really solid and sustainable, the support with incubator and mentor, the sales of the business, that is the exit strategy. Then the next element is the treasury, about the finance, with the types of financing, the fundraising mechanisms, with some key mathematical equations, and the financing cycle. Then the last element is assurance. This is the legal and governance domain, and in particular with the shareholders agreement, that is a very important document, on the subscription of shares. You will also find some supplementary material, in particular in the domain of digitalization with the no-code approach. Then this book is available on Amazon, so you can buy this book and read this book. But you need a good motivation, of course, because this is a real first investment, a couple of dollars, not too expensive. But this is also an investment in terms of time, because you need to take time to read the book. If you want to enter into this material in a more interactive way, I created in ChatGPT an AI assistant named Meta Entrepreneur. So you can see that the introduction text is Discover entrepreneurial success with Meta Entrepreneur based on Pierre Bonnet's journey from suburban to multimillionaire. I was lucky to have a good exit with my previous company and learn the Meta framework with the motion, engagement, treasury, and assurance, as I explained a little bit with the table of contents. And this is perfect for entrepreneurs seeking practical strategies and insights. Actually, this is not only for entrepreneurs, by the way, because this is also a domain of knowledge for active employee, and in particular when we operate in with a mindset of intrapreneur, that is to say, an entrepreneur within an existing company. So after I have some starter question, so I created 4 starter questions. So explain to me how to secure the exit for my company. What is the out-compete concept? How one achieves success as an employee? And how can one overcome procrastination? So let's make a try with this ready-to-use question. How can one achieve success as an employee? So what you must clearly understand here is that the AI works only on the perimeter of my book, and it is not related to the content of internet. So all the answer you will get with this AI assistant Meta Entrepreneur is totally the content of my book. Of course, the AI will rewrite the text and the idea depending of how you enter the prompt, your question, and whether you are an employee or you are already an experimented entrepreneur or a newcomer in the field. So depending on the context you will add in the prompt when you ask the question. But whatever the context and whether you are, the answer will be 100% aligned with the content of my book. And this is the reason why I wanted to share with you this Meta Entrepreneur add-on, because this is something really specific and particular. This is not, as I said, connected to all the knowledge on internet. So to achieve success as an employee involves adopting the mindset of a meta employee. This is a concept I describe in the book, which includes enhancing knowledge and skills, taking initiative, joining a startup, having an entrepreneurship mindset, maybe working on a side business, and develop a routine and persevere. So I can ask any question. For example, give me the table of content of the book. So this is quite easy request. So I have the table of content, exactly the same than the one I presented to you in the PDF format, meaning the book published in Amazon. So my book Meta Entrepreneur rely on a framework that I name Meta for motion, engagement, treasury, and assurance. And this framework is used for entrepreneurship, but also can be used in other domains, for example, in the digitalization. So I will ask now, can you explain me how to use Meta framework to drive a digitalization initiative in a company? So you will see that now the content of the motion, engagement, treasury, and assurance is no longer related to entrepreneurship, but is more globally related to the digitalization approach. And these content come from a second source of knowledge that is not only my book, but that is the uh, website of the Engage Meta community. The Engage Meta community is related to the book, but also work on the broader concept, in particular the digitalization with artificial intelligence and data management. And this content is then retrieved from this website Engage Meta community. So for example, for the motions, it is understanding the need for digitalization, assessment, evaluate your company's current processes to identify areas that can benefit from digitalization, the vision, and a list of advices that are um, displayed or arranged throughout the framework Meta with motion, engagement, treasury, and assurance. And as I said, coming from a mixture of knowledge content from the book and from the website Engage Meta. So let me show you how it works in terms of configuration of this GPT. So if I edit the GPT, so beyond the scene, for the configuration, so I give the name of the GPT, Meta Entrepreneur. I enter the description. This is the text you can read when you start with the GPT. You can also see here the conversation starters, so the 4 questions that are ready to use when we start, and a block of instruction. So let me read these instructions so that you will understand immediately how it works. So I explain here that you are ChatGPT, an expert in entrepreneurship based on the Meta Entrepreneur framework by Pierre Bonnet. When responding to questions, you must use only the content from the provided PDF file metaentrepreneur.pdf and the content in my website engage-meta.com. This is where the content about the digitalization in particular come from in my previous example. In the answer, and if the answer, is not found in the file, respond with this is not in the meta framework entrepreneur. Sorry, ask something else about entrepreneurship. So I force these AIs, these GPT, to stay limited, to work in a limited perimeter that is the book on the website Engage Meta. And then I finish this instruction by include the following statement at the end of each response. That is globally a little call to action to motivate the user to have a look at the Engage Meta website. And for the knowledge, I upload here the metaentrepreneur.pdf files. And then I create or I update my GPT and I publish this GPT in a public way so that I can offer this GPT on the market and you can use it for free. So let's take a last example. What is the outcompete concept? That is for me an important concept in the entrepreneurship domain. I practice much this approach in the software industry and also in the beverage industry with my last startup named Drinkies. And then you can see that the Meta Entrepreneur GPT here explained that we have 4 different strategies to apply the outcompete approach. What we name the radius offering, the niche marketing, the partnership, and the disruption. So I hope this quick video will give you inspiration and motivation first to have a look at the Meta Entrepreneur GPT, to start to ask some question depending on your context as an entrepreneur or as an active employee, or maybe later also to motivate you to buy the book on Amazon. And secondly, also to give you an example of how to create a GPT, an AI assistant in a specific domain in a very easy way. No need to be an engineer or to develop any software. We just need to have a good knowledge and to enter this knowledge within a GPT and to use a good instruction, a good prompting to force this GPT to stay within the perimeter of the knowledge you want to share. So feel free to use this GPT to have a look at the different link somewhere above this video, and also to have a look at our website, engage-meta.com community. And thank you again and see you soon. Bye-bye.